Welcome, and thank you for joining us today. We're thrilled to have you here for our first partner webinar of the year. So we're here to kind of talk about Apsona's approach to our products and solutions, about delivering holistic solutions that drive efficiency and scalability and value for your clients. So in this session, we'll explore how Apsona is transforming from a product-based model to a more solution-driven approach, making it easier for our partners like yourselves to implement, sell, and maximize your customer success. Our presenters for this webinar will be Seth Dieter for a majority of it. He's our Senior Partner Sales Manager. I believe this is like his first webinar on screen with us, so I'm excited for that. I also have Justin Bars with me, and I'm Aaliyah Walker, Lead Gen and Communication Specialist. I'll be the host, so any questions you have, feel free to put them in the Q&A, and we'll have some time at the end to kind of go over those questions. And with that being said, I will pass it to Seth to get us started.
Great, thank you, Aaliyah, and thank you. Yes, as Aaliyah said, this will be my first public webinar, not my first demo or presentation, but certainly public webinar with Apsona, and it's kind of unnerving not knowing who's on the other side. But thank you all for joining us today. Really, what Aaliyah had mentioned is really our intent to orient all of our partners as best we can, and certainly in this call, starting with you all on some thoughts and ideas that Justin and I and the team have had over the course of the last several months in terms of just simplifying how we go to market, how people think about Apsona, putting together a go-to-market strategy and pricing model that's really just going to kind of resonate across the board for our partners, to make it easier for them, to make it easier for our clients and prospective clients to orient around Apsona and all the great things that we are known for, and in some cases not known for. I think one of the things that we realized was our partners didn't know us as well as we wanted them to across the board. We have a lot of different solutions, and that was part of the confusions. We had a lot of different solutions. So we wanted to consolidate our solutions into one platform and create basically three models, which I'll go over in a few slides from here. A lot of the reason why we wanted to do that is we found from our clients that they would come back to us and say, hey, we're using XYZ solution to do A, B, and C, and they didn't realize that we did A, B, and C. So instead of having, in some cases that was frustrating for us, some cases it's frustrating for them, or they would come to us and not realize that they needed a little bit more of what we had to offer. So really just kind of cutting through the noise, the confusion, and making sure that even in our base package, which we call Essentials, we're providing the full level of functionality that Apsona offers. We also realized that from a scalability perspective, we were growing in Salesforce, the ecosystem was growing, and our clients' needs were growing. And we wanted to make sure that we here at Apsona, as we grew, could become or I should say, stay and increasingly become more scalable with the market, but also within our client base itself. We had a lot of clients at different spectrums, mid-size to larger and enterprise size level clients that needed a lot of our attention. And we really wanted to make sure that we were creating a model that could live, eat, and breathe with those clients, but also live, eat, and breathe at all spectrums in a way that made the most sense. And that's really what we wanted to do when we started talking about this, at least before I even came on board in October, but throughout that time. And ultimately we landed on what we feel is three bundles as of January 1 that we'll kind of orient around in this conversation. Aaliyah, you can go to the next slide. For our partners, just to kind of get a sense of one thing I like to always tell our partners, new and old, and our clients as well as prospective clients, is Apsona is agnostic in the sense that we do fit any industry, or at least we have the capability to do so. We are Salesforce specific. Pretty much our solution was created over 13 years ago to enable Salesforce users to do things that they ultimately couldn't necessarily do on the platform. And I think all of you on the call know this. So things that you see here, and I think that this is something I'm learning increasingly, is that Salesforce, or excuse me, Apsona is very much a Salesforce product, not a, for instance, fundraising or advancement product. That being said, a lot of our users have kind of started in that realm, whether it was fundraising and development or advancement and alumni affairs. So some of the ways to orient around, I like to use this as a visual, right? So this could be an orientation around where we see Salesforce or Apsona helping our Salesforce clients, such as in gift receiving or donor profiles. You see portfolio management and donor support. That could range from anywhere from gift receiving to gift acknowledgement letters to any kind of letters or any kind of correspondence. That could be any kind of profiles that you're creating for donors, but also alumni or prospective students. If it's case management, we can help in that area. So these are more framing use cases, I like to say to most people I speak with. The ideas with regards to how to utilize Apsona is limitless. What I always say is if you have data, we're here to help you manage it. And that's with our partners, that's with regards to our clients and prospective clients. And really, it's our clients that are teaching us different ways to use Apsona. And that's the important takeaway here. So I just want any partner on this call, not knowing if you are higher education specific, nonprofit specific, or across the board, working within both markets, the potential is limitless. Please come to us if you have any questions, or have your clients come to us with any questions as far as how Apsona may be able to help them manage their data or manage any kind of documentation. And I'm sure we can figure out a way to help orient them around how we can help. You can go to the next slide. So this is where I'm going to pass the baton off to Justin. He's going to talk a little bit about some of the other things that we are doing congruently with the bundled packages that I'll be more specific in a couple slides after Justin's done in terms of presenting. But really what we wanted to do in creating these bundles is create an onboarding pathway. So I'll pass that along to Justin. I'll have him kind of orient around that, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, thank you, Seth. So I am excited to share about this. I'm excited for all of you guys that made time in your very busy schedule to join us. I am consistently able to reference there are values that partners like you all, I think of you guys as sort of the creme de la creme, forgive me, but like the folks that know Apsona, use Apsona, and know it like the back of your hand. That's often you guys in this space. The concern and the consideration we have for the rest of the market is customers and partners would come to us and say, we tried Apsona, we used Apsona, and we got stuck. We couldn't make sense of it. We couldn't use it. We keep having to borrow this one resource on our team over and over again. So our essential goal is to strategically partner well with the entire Salesforce community and figure out how do we help customers be more successful with their data in their reporting and in their document generation needs. The NPC sort of co-launched from Salesforce, and as they continue to sort of push NPC down the pipe, that's a really easy way for us to highlight some brand scenarios that Apsona can create value in a very unique way. Now, one of the reasons for the bundle mechanism is actually some of these scenarios and these feature templates actually require all of the licenses, or sometimes 3 or 4 of the licenses together. And our goal is to create templates and solutions that provide value at go live. So we're meeting with partners later today, throughout the rest of this week, around implementation methodologies, how to partner well, how to get their customers up and running quickly with Apsona, noting that oftentimes folks like yourselves are the only ones that actually have a really firm grasp of how to use Apsona, but it's only after you put in the time. You guys have spent years, months in implementing and developing Apsona. So for the nonprofit cloud suite, we have a series of solution templates that Lori will be publishing in Q2. Those are oriented around just a handful of scenarios, right? I'm going to sort of just popcorn out a couple of scenarios that have come to us. A staged import template where Benevity or Fidelity Charitable Trust gifts consistently need to be added to their NPC instance or their Salesforce instance on a regular basis in a way that's clean, simple, and oriented towards an end user that needs it to sort of work for them. In another scenario, maybe the gift entry solution from Nonprofit Cloud is great and you love it. Maybe you want something that looks like Apsona, looks like a table. And maybe you want the ability to say, hey, I have this gift list of 100 or 1,000 gifts, and I need to manually enter it. Waiting for that Aura component in NPC to sort of load over and over and over again is maddening. And I want the ability to say, hey, I have a spreadsheet of these 500 gifts. these 200 are manual, and these 300 are sort of a mixed bag. I need all of them to enter my nonprofit cloud instance. How do I do that? Our nonprofit cloud Apsona gift entry screen allows you to do that, whether you're importing, doing manual data entry, or customizing Apsona to fit that need. Just another solution template that we're going to provide and train partners and customers on through our NPC implementation route. A couple other ones are some common ones you guys are familiar with, I think. The ability to create a gift receipt template and have one ready to go on the nonprofit cloud data model. Or maybe you need a batch receipting template. You want to be able to say, from this campaign or from this dedicated page or tab, I want a batch receipting report. I want it to be drop dead simple, where any of my customers, any of my end users that I'm building this for can go to this tab, click on a few screens, get the set of receipts, the set of gifts up and running. They can QA them, review them, and then merge them, but not having to sort of purchase the more expensive license. Having a specialized license aimed at servicing that key user's need, which we've heard from Blackbaud and Razor's Edge and other systems, is a part of their systems. A couple other easy ones for us are the ability to just wrap up the button experience with the different scenarios that show up for us. Sometimes those are donor profiles or board profiles. Sometimes those are one-off gift receipts, but being able to wrap that in a DAT file and give that to you guys. For our perspective, we want to create higher value in the way that you use Apsona, decrease the total time it takes you to get an implementation up and running, and reduce sort of the time and material hours that you have to burn just in building solution templates out of the box. If we can give you more time in front of your customer, more time building and having critical value conversations, we know that your IP as a partner is going to shine through. We just want to give you more ready-made templates ready to go on Nonprofit Cloud. If we slide to the next document, this will just sort of be the quick and easy sort of highlight reel. We consistently have found that when partners, or actually when customers after go live, after implementation, have said, well, why did I buy SDocs if Apsona already has what I need? And we're sort of stuck, not able to look at the partner and say, hey, partner, what's going on here? That's not the scenario of you guys. You guys are the creme de la creme, the folks that are sort of using Apsona in all the places. But we realize over and over again that if Apsona can reduce the total contract value, reduce the total spend, and make it easier for you to use data in your Salesforce environment and create reports in that Salesforce environment, we can actually collapse a number of the pricing points here on these different products and make it simpler and easier for your customer to be successful. We often use this over and over again with new partners, as well as returning partners and sort of new staff, to just orient around, hey, if we can make it easier and reduce the lift for you as an implementation goal. We've heard that from other folks on this call. We know that that's a value. We're looking to learn from you all on how to continue to create value with our broad product suite and make it available to you to increase value for your clients. Thanks, Seth. That's all I got.
Awesome. Excuse me. So I don't know how many people on the call. This may be new to most people on the call. I guess what I was trying to say is I don't know how many of you on the call have seen this. I think this is one of the easiest ways to help frame around what Apsona means when we say bundles. And I just butchered this. That's supposed to be a square. It almost looks like a sideways house. But if you see here in the middle part of the slide, you have where our licenses kind of reside in terms of licenses. So you have your essentials bundle, 3 to 9, advanced bundle, 10 to 49, and premium bundle, 50 plus. Again, I think I mentioned this earlier, but what we wanted to do even in our lowest bundle or our base bundle, as far as essentials is concerned, is what I put in this sideways house or box is the functionality that we want each end user to have coming out of whichever bundle you decide, or your partner, excuse me, your client decides to move forward with. A lot of our partners would come to, or a lot of our, I would say, the clients that we saw over the course of the last several years would come to us through either partner suggestion, or maybe they read about us with one thought, one idea in mind, not knowing about several of the other pieces of functionality. In some cases, and I think I mentioned this earlier, not realizing that they may want our document merge solution, but they actually need multi-step reporting as well. So what we wanted to make sure is if they do need document merge and they need to perform multi-step or multi-object, or need to have the capability to perform and create those reports or create those documents, it all comes with whatever bundle they are they purchased from us. So everything that I put into this box is referencing, I should say, an end user. If we just want to orient around the essentials bundle, we have specialized licenses here. Each licensee, or excuse me, specialized licenses or view only, button only licenses come on a 1-to-1 ratio. So I'll explain what that means. If you get 3 licenses, for instance, or if one of your clients gets 3 licenses, we will provide them with 3 specialized licenses. So again, these are the licenses. In the next slide I'll show you, but I'm not done with this slide yet. Each of these licenses are just as they say. They're view only, they're button only. Any one of your end users can create a report or a document for a specialized licensee to view with that view only or button only access. I'm sure most of you are familiar with that, but I just wanted to be clear on the 1-to-1 ratio, that if you have 4 licenses or anywhere up to 9 licenses, 4 licenses, you'll get 4 specialized licenses for free. 9 licenses, you'll get 9 specialized licenses for free. Jumping over to the advanced bundle, it changes a little bit, but so does some of the other things that you get within the advanced bundle. Same thing with premium bundle. As you see, the big difference for specialized licenses is how we discount it. The reason we created the advanced and premium bundles are pretty straightforward. These are institutions and organizations that typically have more than one admin. Several departments are in need, or at least a multitude or greater multitude of licensees are in need in these situations. And there may be a little bit more complexity within these use cases. Really, the licensing kind of drives that piece to it. It's kind of self-explanatory from that perspective. But I'll give you an example that is really important to understand. If your specialized licensee, let's say your let's say your standard licenses are in this, let's just use a round number, 10 license range, but your specialized licenses takes you into maybe the 100 licensing category. That'll bump you up to the premium bundle. If we need to talk about the specificity around how we would come up with that, please help us understand your questions offline, and I'll be happy to answer those in more detail. But really what we wanted to also include in the premium advanced bundles is scheduler automation, as you see their checkboxes here, and the opportunity to have private enablement workshops with somebody like Lori, who's on this call. Basically what that means is we'll have you schedule some time with Lori that's separate, separated, I should say, into 3 different workshops where she can kind of walk you through onboarding, walk you through enablement, walk you through some of those quick start guides that Justin was talking about to make sure that you get up and running. That also being said, anyone in our essentials all the way through to premium, all individuals will get quick start guides, and all will be able to attend our public enablement workshops, which I believe at this point will be held monthly. Everyone has access, as always, to our full YouTube channel, as well as any of our documentation, which is pretty expansive. I don't really have anything else. I'll clear this all out. I don't really have anything else on this slide, but if we could jump to the next slide, I can further dive into the differences between standard and specialized licenses. I like to call it standard. That's your normal Apsona end user. Those are the individuals that are going to be creating those reports, creating those documents, really in Apsona on a, if not daily, weekly basis. Your specialized licensees, that could be anyone from maybe somebody at the leadership level that's not necessarily creating those documents or reports or needing to utilize Apsona, but needing access to those documents or reports. That could be major gift officers that need access to documents, or excuse me, to profiles for events. Maybe they're not creating those profiles utilizing Apsona, but what they can do is actually access those profiles and then put them into an editable format to include or exclude any information, make them look pretty, print them out, do whatever they want with them. So really these specialized users don't have the full breadth of access to Apsona, but any of these standard licensees or end users will. Outside of that, I don't really have anything else. I don't think, Aaliyah, and correct me if I'm wrong if there's any other slides, but I don't have anything else to add I would love to open this up for conversation and or questions, but more importantly, I just wanted to say this was our attempt to hopefully orient those that weren't well aware or familiar with this new way that we are essentially going to market, and really just help open up the floor for conversation for us to help you guys with your client, work with your clients, work better with your clients, and really help us understand any kind of feedback that can make us do better by you and ultimately by Apsona and Salesforce. So if you wanted to open up the floor to any questions, please feel free to do so now.
I don't see any questions. Oh, I see one in the Q&A. How are renewals going to be handled for clients who only have a handful of products before and not the full suite? I want to prepare our managed services clients and those that you share. From Allie.
I can take that really quickly, Justin, if you want to add anything. We're definitely in, and we should have probably mentioned this earlier. So clients are being treated differently from new logos, if you will, or new prospective clients. Current clients, and meaning clients that are on Apsona right now or utilizing Apsona right now, we've already advised them of some of these changes. And really what we want to do is work with them on what makes the most sense. We're not, in a sense, sunsetting what was our old model to current clients, meaning we're not forcing any of our current clients into a bundle. But if it makes sense in their scenario, we want to enlighten them on what a bundle may look like. We've had several that come to us that want to add. Most circumstances, our clients want to add more. And so if they're adding more, does it make sense to orient around and maybe ultimately switch and transition into a bundle? Or does it make sense to continue along the lines of the old way of doing things, so to speak? So that is certainly a case-by-case basis that we want to make sure we're careful with current clients. But again, like I said, new clients that are not with us or haven't been with us since we did we call it a la carte model, they will be oriented around the bundles, and that's the direction we'll go with those. Justin, did you have anything to add?
Nope, that was it.
All right, next question. Is it not possible to have 10 licenses without paying for a scheduler, etc.?
So as far as scheduler is concerned, if you want to go back to the prior slide, Aaliyah.
Yeah.
As far as scheduler is concerned, it's not necessarily listed here. I'm going off of my memory. I believe you get 5,000 free reports and 5,000 free documents via scheduler. So that's in the advanced bundle. So that's 10 to 49 licenses. So scheduler is included at no additional cost as long as you stay within those two brackets, 5,000 and 5,000 for each.
That's correct. Yep.
All right, another question. Are there changes in the installation process to support these changes?
One thing I didn't mention, but Justin talked about it a little bit. I'm not going to speak to installation, so I'll kind of defer that to Justin, but it's a piece of implementation, and that's some of the quick start guides that we were talking about will be available in Q2. As far as guides and things of that nature, those are a work in progress. That's why we are holding off on saying they're all fully available and ready to go. That being said, it's definitely something we want to make sure as far as enablement and onboarding is concerned. Everything that we're working on today will be available to any of our clients moving forward. As far as installation, ultimately, I'll defer to Justin. Ultimately, when you're installing Apsona, you're going to be your clients will be installing or have the ability to install several of the solutions rather than several solutions are included in the bundle, whichever solutions those are, which you can see here in the first few bullet points. They don't have to ultimately, and correct me if I'm wrong, Justin, but that is every one of those solutions will be coming with the bundle. Justin, did you want to expand upon that?
Yeah, the goal here is some of these things are mid-flight, as you guys can see, and our goal is to try to create value with a busy product mix and a busy customer base and a busy partner base. So right now, the most immediate sort of value proposition that we have is at the implementation template experience. So when these sort of templates exist and are rolled into that installation process, the goal is that at installation, we can't wrap it into the technical underpinnings of each App Exchange listing at this time. But the goal is that as part of that installation process, they're actually prompted and referenced that here's your installation guide, here's your implementation template dedicated to these sort of clear scenarios and situations that we've heard are really helpful as it relates to, let's just say, nonprofit cloud for this scenario, where we're wrapping those in. And then as that bundle customer sort of purchases at, whichever level they purchase at, they'll actually be enrolled in a dedicated cohort. So I can't speak to specificity in that regard, but the goal is that the installation process would have additional support and additional sort of onboarding resources in that experience as well.
Great. Next question. A new Apsona customer could not get 15 licenses at the essentials level. They have to get the advanced bundle.
Correct.
And the lowest number of licenses is still 3, correct?
Correct.
Any other questions from our audience?
And if there aren't, but ultimately you think of something after this call, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're recognizing that this is new. It's not obviously as new to us anymore as it is to some of you on the call and others that aren't on this call. It's our effort to make it less complicated. I know, whenever you change things seemingly can be complicated at the outset. But it's been my experience, and Lori and I were talking about this earlier today, that as we go along, it's only somewhat confusing to start just because it's new. And really it's leading to making things internally for our clients that are learning about it. It's making their lives easier once they realize that they can do all these different things they didn't realize they could do, and in some cases at a discount. But conversely, with regards to our conversations, I've noticed it, and I've only been here since October, that the conversations ultimately are becoming clearer with our clients. It's really something that we feel good about. We feel like it's going to lead us down a path that we've been wanting to go down. And really, like I said, if there are questions or any as questions come about, please don't hesitate to ask us.
I have 2 new questions. If we are still installing all of the parts separately, can we also assign the end user privileges separately?
Yeah, at a technical level, that is 100% correct. Our goal is not to sort of force assign any broad privileges or user permissions that aren't going to serve you or help your client be successful. So those are available to you at the same level of technical assignment and technical, I guess, onboarding and activation processes. Yep. I'll take the next one too, Aaliyah. Someone that had said they missed some of the story about the nonprofit cloud templates. Essentially, we sort of just spoke to the fact that nonprofit cloud is it's being pushed out of the pipeline. It's a common scenario, and depending on where you are as a consultant and your client and which products they choose from Salesforce to implement, we just know that nonprofit cloud is on the way. We also know that it's a busy product object model. It has lots of objects. It has person accounts. There are some data complexities with this. There are also some out-of-the-box scenarios where NPC just sort of includes Omni DocGen Studio out of the box. Apsona has a set of solution templates that we'll be publishing and pushing out in Q2. Our goal there is to highlight the clear ways where Apsona adds value. A few items I referenced before was import templates for third-party giving organizations like Fidelity Charitable Trusts, Benevity Giving, scenarios where gift entry is a consistent need, even though there's a single product within Salesforce to do that. We have a grid-based and a table-based solution that makes it simpler and easier for you to both import and manually add gifts directly into NPC. And then as it relates to the complex cross-object needs of NPC, our multi-step reporting tool works really well. And then the solution templates of having buttons sort of preloaded in our DAT file and receipt templates preloaded and multi-step reports preloaded to that object model is what we're shooting to provide for you as a partner to reduce the total time it takes for you to set up and get NPC up and running and creating value where Apsona, only Apsona can with our unique product mix.
Great, thanks, Justin. Another call for questions. Okay, well, before we kind of end, I did want to address a quick announcement for our website pricing page. Not sure if everyone on the call has had a chance to check it out, but we will be kind of releasing another version of our pricing page to kind of consolidate information and just kind of give you some more context when it comes to bundles and how we differentiate them. So be on the lookout for that no later than March 13th. And we'll kind of announce this social media and across our website. So just be aware of that. And thank you guys for joining. We'll let you go now.